Hello students, welcome to the pole science of class 10, and today we'll start with the topic of power sharing among political parties, pressure groups and movements. Previously we read about horizontal system of power sharing and vertical system of power sharing, and we have also read about power sharing among different social groups. So today we will start with the topic of power sharing among political parties, pressure groups and movements. Clear? So let us proceed then. Number one point is no political parties enjoy power forever. That means this comes under fair electoral competition. Under fair electoral competition, no one is there in that place permanently. That means what? A party which is in power, suppose the BJP is in power in Assam, and in the year 2021 again elections are going to be held. So at that time the BJP cannot assume that we will again be elected. Might be they will be elected, or they have the chance that they will not be elected also. So it gives clear instructions to these political parties that whoever the political parties are there who are in power, they cannot assume that they will be there for the permanent time. That means they have to work for the welfare and development of the people. As long as they will work for the development of people and the welfare of society, till then the people will give them vote. Otherwise, if they are not working for the welfare and development of the society, of course that party or that government will not be elected again, because after every 5 years the elections are held in India. So under that point only it is written that no political party enjoys power forever. That means they are not there forever. After that, it is for the people to decide who should be in power. As we have told that democracy is of the people, by the people and for the people. This famous quote was given by the great president of America, Abraham Lincoln. Why he had told that? Because in a democratic country, wherever it is, in a democratic country like India, it is we the people who actually are the powerful at power, because we have the power to choose the leaders or the government that we want. Who we want that particular party should rule the country, that party only we will choose according to our choice. So it is for the people to decide. It is the people, it is we who decide who should be in power. With the emergence of coalition government, many parties share power at the same time. So earlier, what happened after our country got independence in the year 1947? After that, when the first elections was held during that time of 1951 to 52, at that time what happened? Since 1967, the elections were won by a single largest party, that was the Indian National Congress. They were sweeping away elections like anything. After that, a time came when a single party winning elections was not prevalent. Suppose if 272 seats were needed at that time, a single party could manage to win only 200 seats. So at that time, another 72 seats where they will get from. So in order to manage that 72 remaining seats which that single party did not or was not able to win, so in order to manage that 72 seats and to make it a total of 272, so that the government can form, that particular party can form the government, in order to do that, what they have done, they have created coalition government. That means mixing of many smaller or bigger parties with them. In that way, what will happen? Suppose if you are needing 72 seats, and suppose if you are seeing that another 3 parties, if you join with another 3 parties, and after analyzing, if you found that okay, these 3 parties, these smaller 3 parties have 80 seats, that means one has won 20 seats, the second party has won 30 seats, again the third smaller party has won 30 seats, making it a total of 80. So you need how much? That particular party needs 72. So in that case, they would rather prefer to join that 3 smaller parties into their sides, so that they can have a total of 272 seats and they can form a government also. So in that view, this coalition government actually came into creation. And after that, when the coalition government started working, after that, it is the era of, we can say now that now the time has come that single largest party is not there who can win or who can win elections at their own capabilities, but the time has come now that that single political party who wishes to form government, they should always join hands with smaller parties in order to form coalition government. So it is rightly said that with the emergence of coalition government, many parties share power at the same time, according to point number 3. After that, pressure groups and movements have share in power by exerting pressure on the government. So whatever the pressure groups and movements we have studied in the previous class regarding pressure groups and movements, through the movements also and through the pressure group itself, they do what? They actually forces or pressurizes the government, and when they pressurize the government is bound to listen to them, because some share of seats or some share of voting rights they have in their hands. So in order to make their wishes, whatever they are demanding, in order to hear to that, they are bound to, the present government is very much bound to hear to their problems. So in that way also we can say that pressure groups and movements are very much applicable in today's political sphere. Clear? And how they pressurize? They exert pressure by various means and get policies framed in their favor. Sometimes pressure groups, as we have seen, like there are many pressure groups which may be related to the other backward class. There may be people from the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, then the women categories are there. So all they are doing what? They are pressurizing government, and they are pressurizing the government to bring such policies that could actually benefit to their groups, maybe of the other backward classes. Some bills may be passed through the government which will actually give benefits to the or to this various pressure groups. So they always pressurize in order to give or to get policies which could actually favor them the most. Clear? So in this way power sharing is done among various political parties, forming if we say about political parties, it is giving birth to the coalition government these days. Everyone has coalition form of government. Now you cannot find a political party under single head, such as the BJP, which heads the NDA, that is also the coalition group. That means the National Democratic Alliance, which is headed by BJP, and many other smaller parties are there. Again, we cannot find Indian National Congress as a political party because they also have coalition, which is known as UPA, that means United Progressive Alliance, that is headed by Indian National Congress, and under that many political parties are there. So in this era we can only find the coalition government. And discussing about the pressure groups, how the power is shared among pressure groups and how they utilize, how they pressurize the government. They pressurize the government through movements also, and they pressurize the government in bringing some policies actually. And when the government brings policies, you must be certain that that policy will actually give benefits to this disadvantaged group or the pressure groups in some way or the other. Clear? After that, if we talk about the summary, if you want to understand that how is the power shared among different things or the different organs, suppose first point, if you can see here, that is among the different organs of the government, that is legislature, executive and judiciary. That means within the governmental framework, how it is done. We have read under legislative, executive and judiciary what are the things that are there: horizontal and vertical power sharing. So horizontal distribution, as it allows different organs to exercise different powers, that because they can have an eye on each other and they could be termed as independent also under this head. After that, no organs get unlimited powers. This is the second advantage, because anyone cannot be dictatorship or cannot be dictator because they don't have the unlimited powers. Then after that, each organ checks the other. This is the third positive things. After that, it results in balance of power. So if everybody has the power to look after each one of his or her work, then what will happen? It will result in balance of power. Then every organ will be satisfied with the work of others, but they cannot interfere. They are interdependent. They are not interdependent, actually they are independent, and they don't have the unlimited powers. After that, all ministers, government officials are responsible to parliament or state assemblies. Clear? That means member of parliament are responsible or answerable to the parliament. Clear? And the member of legislative assemblies, MLAs, are answerable to the state assemblies. Judges can also check the work of other organ. And last but not the least, who can have a check on everyone's work? The Supreme Court, as it is the supreme in all manner. It can have a check on anyone's work. And in the concluding part under this head, we can see a system of checks and balances. This whole system that is divided or shared among legislature, executive, judiciary can be termed as checks and balances. Then second term that comes under is amongst government at different levels. Here you can see that a general government is there for the entire country, a central government, and state government in every state. The number of states that India has, they have that much of state government having chief minister as their head, and you can have a general government that will be applicable for the whole country. That will be known as the prime minister in case of India. After that, constitutional distribution of power to the state and center is given. That means ratio might be like more or less, but distribution of power is there between center and state. And in the same way, it is also followed in the panchayat level and municipality level also. So here what is being followed? The vertical division of power is followed. And under judiciary, executive and legislature, the horizontal power is followed. And under this panchayat, the distribution of power among panchayat, municipality, central government, state government, the vertical division of power is followed. Then if we talk about different social groups or religious linguistic groups, we have taken the example of Belgium in this case, where accommodates what? Community government in Belgium accommodates social diversities who would feel otherwise alienated. They are giving importance to each and every group of the country Belgium. After that, last point that comes is political parties, pressure groups and movements, that we have just finished right a few seconds ago. That means under this, formation of coalition government, when different parties form alliances, as I have told you earlier, that today it is the trend of coalition government all over the country. After that, influence of interest groups, businessmen, industrialists, farmers, industrial workers. So interest groups are there, such as pressure groups and interest groups are there. They may be from different categories of people, such as other backward classes, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes. Then under interest groups, they might be businessmen, industrialists, farmers and industrial workers. What they will do? They will pressurize the government so that they have a unity of their own, they have a community of their own, so that they can pressurize in such a way that the government would be bound to hear to them and also bring some policies that could actually benefit this group of people, relating to businessmen, relating to industries, relating to farmers section, related to industrial workers. So this policy will actually benefit all these people belonging to different communities. So in this way, political parties or pressure groups and movements actually influence the form of power sharing. Clear? So with this, I will wind up today's topic, and I hope that whatever the points we have read today, it is now clear to you. With that, I will wind up today's topic. Thank you.